We hardly know right now. We hardly even know. We're just barely scratching the surface. What does it really mean to be Krishna conscious? It means to become completely selfless. That your only desire is to please Krishna. You do whatever Krishna wants. You see, you're completely detached from your own enjoyment. Your only attachment is to pleasing Krishna. You do whatever Krishna wants. You think Prabhupada wanted to come to America? He was comfortably situated in India. Even after he came, he was checking, he was going down this India steamship office to see if any ships were going back to India anytime soon. It was very austere, but he did it in the order of his spiritual master. Even we read the other day that Prabhupada said, I'm not happy. Remember we read that the other day? Prabhupada was saying he wasn't happy in New York. We read the other day. Yeah. It was an austerity for Prabhupada to come to America. In a strange place with no money. Can you imagine going to New York City with 40 rupees? Would you go to New York City with 40 rupees? How much? It's like $1 now. Maybe it was 3 or 6 kronas, 6 or whatever. I mean, can you imagine the position he was in? He had no money. He was barely surviving, by selling a few books here and there. He couldn't even rent an apartment. He had rented a little cubicle, a little office with no running water, just a little tiny office. It had no water, no bathroom. It was just a little tiny office space he rented for a few dollars. That's how he lived. And he had to go walk a few blocks away to use the toilet, take a shower and cook, using somebody else's facilities, Dr. Mishra's place. So this is the standard. You see. You have to get out of this idea of trying to just take care of your own happiness. You have to think, how can I please Krishna? How can I please my spiritual master? That's how you become genuinely happy. You have to get out of this little bubble of modern day, egotism. You can say, get rid of it. Just kick it out. It doesn't work. It's a model of happiness that has miserably failed. Egotism. You have to go back to Krishnatism, putting Krishna in the center. That's your natural position, with Krishna in the center. So if you can do that, your whole life will be changed. Everything will become transformed, amazingly transformed. If you don't do it, good luck. That's all I can say. Good luck. Good luck to find any happiness here. By money or position or, good luck. You need it. You're not going to get your happiness here. Unless you put Krishna in the center, you're not going to be happy. I'll just tell you straight. You will not be happy unless you purely put Krishna in the center. You won't be. You will not be. So we have to learn this art from one of my spiritual masters, Srila Prabhupada, and those who purely represent him. We have to learn this art of how to put Krishna completely in the center of our consciousness. That everything is for Krishna. Everything is for Krishna. So perhaps there's some questions, I can try to answer them. Yes, Prabhu?
Can I know what is the real happiness? Is it just because of happening of the comfortable situations around us in every step of our life? Is just something beyond that?
Comfortable situations are not the cause of real happiness. For keeping health, we are allowed to make some comfortable arrangements. It's not that you have to go out and live on the street. It is our quota to make proper comforts so that we have good health. You see. But that doesn't make you happy. You can have the nicest apartment with the best food, the best facilities, and be a completely miserable person. So your real happiness is your relationship with Krishna, your relationship with Guru, your relationship with Vaishnavas, you see. A pure selfless relationship with Guru, Krishna and Vaishnavas. That's your actual happiness. Comforts are there for keeping health. proper heat, proper food, proper environment. That's your quota. You're allowed them. But that will not make you happy. You'll only become happy by reviving that lost loving relationship with Krishna, by having a bona fide spiritual master, being submitted to a bona fide spiritual master, having loving relationships with Vaishnavas. That will satisfy you, nothing else. Okay? Next question. Yes.
Yesterday you were explaining that if someone wants to achieve the success, he must approach a guru and he must make the contract. And guru is checking the disciple, aspirant disciple, and the disciple should check the guru. I would like us to explain how is the case with Shiksha when we are going to take Shiksha.
Can you repeat that?
In order to achieve success, you explained yesterday that one must approach a guru, and that the guru and the disciple, they check each other out before committing.
That's right.
So he was asking, what is the position how is that relation with the Shiksha guru? With the Shiksha guru, how is that?
Actually, any Shiksha guru means someone you take instructions from. What Prabhupada taught us in Austin about the Shiksha guru, we got a letter from Prabhupada when I was in Austin about Shiksha guru. Way back in must have been 71 or 72. Prabhupada wrote a letter that came to one of my godbrothers in the temple. Prabhupada said, you have only one authority, and that is your Diksha Guru. Only one Guru is your Diksha Guru. But others who instruct you in the same way, give you the same teachings, they can be taken also as gurus. So that's called Shiksha Guru. It's like I have one guru, that's my one guru is Srila Prabhupada. And if somebody else instructs me in the same way that Prabhupada instructs me, just like, for example, if you told me, Prabhu, chant Hare Krishna, then you're my Shiksha Guru, you see. Because you're telling me the same thing that Prabhupada says. So anybody who tells me the same thing that Prabhupada says, they're my Shiksha Guru, you see. If Lindanath tells me the same thing that Prabhupada says, he's my Shiksha Guru, you see. So whoever tells me the same thing that my Diksha Guru tells me, they are my Shiksha Guru. So I judge them by seeing if they're properly representing Prabhupada, you see. So that's how you determine Shiksha Guru. Is he properly representing my Diksha Guru? He's properly of course, the Diksha Guru means he's properly representing Prabhupada. Otherwise, he can't be my Diksha Guru. Even if I took Diksha, just like I took Diksha from Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, but I rejected him, you see. Because he wasn't teaching the proper teachings. I rejected my first initiating guru. I take that as a bogus initiation. It wasn't genuine. Because he wasn't a bona fide spiritual master. A materialist, actually. Successful. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi is a very successful materialist, but supposing himself as a guru, but not really a guru. So it's all based on pure Siddhanta. Who is presenting the teachings purely. It's all based on that. Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru both. Who is presenting the teachings purely. Yeah.
And dog can be a Shiksha.
Yes, the dog also is our Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives the example. The dog, from the lesson, the dog we learn very good lesson. He's completely faithful to the master. Even the dog will sacrifice his life to protect his master. So, in this way, the dog is also, for us, a Shiksha Guru. Yeah. But we don't take Diksha from the dog. So, any other, yes?
You mentioned that we cannot approach Krishna with our material desire. I was just thinking about Krishna. He says in the Bhagavad Gita how these 4 kinds of pious men, they surrender unto him, or they approach him, and I don't
say we can approach Krishna. You can approach Krishna in material desire, but you're not going to get Krishna if you do it. It's stated, akama sarvakama va moksha kama udaridi. Whether you have all material desires, no material desires, or you desire impersonal liberation, you should approach Krishna. So it's better they approach Krishna with a material desire than not approach him at all. But you can approach Krishna with material desire, but you won't get Krishna. I prayed to God for cowboy boots. I got my cowboy boots, but I didn't get God. I got my cowboy boots, but I didn't get Krishna. You can approach, but you won't get Krishna. And you won't be satisfied either. You may get your trinket, just like Dhruva. He wanted a kingdom greater than his father. He's praying for them. He's doing tapa to get a kingdom greater than his father's. And Krishna very kindly appeared as that very wonderful form. And he realized what a fool he was. What kind of idiot was I? Instead of, here's the rarest gem, Krishna himself. But I was simply seeking some broken pieces of glass. What a fool, what an idiot. So you can approach, but you're not going to get satisfied by that approach. So what is your question answered now? Or?
Yes.
Okay. See if there's any questions from the internet coming in. No questions from the internet. Or internet. Yep.
I have an elaborating question. So, is it correct to understand that like the same activity that can be like selfish or it can be selfless? For example, if one wants to sit down and study because one wants to get like knowledge and prestige, that is a material desire. But if one thinks that Srila Prabhupada's movement, they need learned devotees, therefore I sit down and study, then that is kind of, it's the same activity, but...
Same activity can be selfish or selfless depending on your consciousness. Even chanting Hare Krishna, it can be. One may think, one may be chanting, let me become a famous bhajan singer so people will adore me. Selfish. So it depends on the consciousness.
But then by linking that initial selfish activity to Krishna, then like, as Dhruva Maharaj, he had a selfish desire, but like by engaging it, he became purified.
Yeah. So if you're selfish, do it in relation, do it with Krishna consciousness. It's better to approach Krishna with your selfish desires than to not approach Krishna with your selfish desires. Because then you still get purified with that content. But you should, one who knows better should not do. That's for the innocent mass of people. But anyone who comes to Krishna consciousness, they should not do them. They will stay in the material world as long as they hold on to the material desire. Anyone who's come to this movement, they should give up all material desires. It's a waste of time. Why pray for fulfilling material desires? It's just a waste of energy. Focus simply on awakening your pure love for Krishna within your heart. That's it. Nothing else. That will give that. Otherwise you're not going to be happy. As long as you say, well, Krishna, I want this, Krishna, I want that. I mean, just stop it. Don't do that. For materialists, that is good. But for you all, for us all, you see, we've taken this path to try to become pure devotees. So we have to give up all these kind of material desires. We have to give them all up. We're just hurting ourselves when we hold on to them. Next question. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Maybe you could elaborate more on this Diksha and Shiksha Guru, because Diksha Guru in one sense is the most prominent. Then again, our line is a Shiksha line, or Parampara. It's a Shiksha line, it's not really a Diksha line. Also it's said that number 2, Shiksha is a prominent, or Diksha is based on a foundation of Shiksha.
So, Yeah, Prabhupada clearly stated that you have one guru when he gives you initiation. So Diksha is a pretty important thing. It's a commitment. It's a vow of total commitment to your spiritual master. We can't say, well, it's a Siksha line, so Diksha is not very important. We can just kind of brush it aside, you know. Who needs Diksha anyway? All you need is Siksha, because we're in the Siksha line. So Prabhupada being initiated by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was not very important. We cannot say that. That would be an improper understanding. There are many, we do know that there are certainly Diksha relationships, Sampradaya. It's like Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati did that. Some of them were Siksha only relationships. That we also know. So you can, in that sense, you can say it's a Siksha line because Siksha was there all the way through and Diksha was not always there in every case. That we can say, that's accurate. But to say, therefore, Diksha is not important, that's not proper understanding. With Prabhupada, our authority is Prabhupada, you see. We can make our own interpretations of Vaishnava history and Jadav inclusions, but we take Prabhupada's instructions as law, you see. Prabhupada said your deathlessness begins from the very day of initiation. So, even if you say, well, our line is the Siksha line, but still, because Prabhupada is our Siksha Guru, say it's a Siksha line, but the Siksha Guru, the ultimate Siksha Guru for all of us is Srila Prabhupada, and he said deathlessness begins from the day of initiation. So our Siksha Guru, Srila Prabhupada, he confirmed the overriding importance of initiation, because that's when you actually enter into deathlessness. He didn't say, from the first time you heard Siksha, you entered deathlessness. He said, the day of initiation is when you attain deathlessness. So, Siksha without Diksha is like being engaged without getting married. There's no commitment, you see. You can get Siksha. There's many people who come into ISKCON getting Siksha for many, many years, even decades getting Siksha, but they don't take Diksha. They don't want to make that commitment, you see. So, for such a person, the connection is not there yet. Diksha is that, the Diksha ceremony is not complete until there's obedience. The three things have to be there: shelter, initiation, and obedience. It's only, I'm initiated, so I'm saved. Like Christianity, I accepted Jesus, so I'm saved. No. There's three things that are essential. You have to take shelter of one fide spiritual master, you have to get initiated, and you have to obey him. You see. That makes you strong in Krishna consciousness. That makes you solidly fixed. You say it's a Siksha line, so Diksha is not so important. That's not what Prabhupada said. We hear, that was never said by Prabhupada when he was here. It's a Siksha line, so Diksha is not important. This is devotees saying this later on after Prabhupada left. We never heard this when Prabhupada was here. This is some new idea floating around this kind. Oh, it's a Siksha line, Prabhu. Diksha is not so important because it's a Siksha line. Prabhupada never said such a thing. This is some of these philosophies floating around this kind. I mean, you can say there's a truth to that, but the biggest, most important thing is to understand the absolute necessity of being initiated. Because without initiation, there's no connection. You're not actually connected. You haven't made the commitment. Yes?
There is no surrender.
Yeah, there's no surrender. Siksha, I can take it or leave it. I say, thanks for the Siksha, Prabhu. And I'll take some Siksha over here, a little Siksha there. Disciple of many gurus is a disciple of no guru. You see? But when you actually commit yourself, now you are my authority, I fully surrender unto you.
In this regard, Prabhupada also said in London, one lady asked him how to accept the Guru, and Prabhupada said, Guru, by reading the books.
Yeah, just
And
gotta read the
Prabhupada-
book. I said, no, you must make Guru concrete. Do not take Guru in the air. So, yeah. Of course, the Diksha Guru is also Siksha Guru. He gives you instructions. It's not that he just gives you initiation, doesn't give you any instructions. So, from my case, Prabhupada is Diksha and Siksha Guru both. But so, it is required to, initiation is required. And that's how you become deathless, by beginning initiated and carrying and executing your duties as a disciple of the spiritual master. Yeah, there's a tendency nowadays to blur the whole thing. Yeah, Siksha, Diksha, they're all the same. Of course, spiritually, it's a fact, according to the CC, the Diksha and Siksha Gurus are both equal manifestations of the Supreme Personality of God, as stated by Prabhupada. So that's true, but you have to understand what is the real meaning of Siksha Guru. Prabhupada told the Siksha Guru, one who represents purely the Diksha Guru. That's the meaning. Somebody's telling something different than my Diksha Guru, he's not my Siksha Guru. That's according to Prabhupada's instructions. Now somebody may disagree with that, they can do that if they want, but I'm going to follow what Prabhupada told me. You see? Some may not agree with it. But I'm just going to stick with what Prabhupada said. I'm going to talk with Prabhupada, not the latest, ideas floating around this camp. I'm sticking with Prabhupada taught me, and that's it. I've got everything I need from Prabhupada. I don't need anything else. These new ideas that devotees come up with, I don't need any stuff. I have Prabhupada's teachings. I have my Guru, I have Prabhupada, I have his teachings. Now, if I can gain a deeper understanding of Prabhupada's teachings, that's I'm very welcome. If these different explanations we're hearing, they deepen my understanding of Prabhupada's teachings, give me a more mature and well-rounded understanding of Prabhupada's teachings, that is welcome. That's welcome. But if they take me into an understanding different than what Prabhupada said, then no. I only take Siksha, which reconfirms and deepens my understanding of what Prabhupada is talking about. Anything that kind of, just like Prabhupada very clearly told us, no illicit sex. Sex is only for procreation. That's the rule. That if you're initiated, that's your vow. You're only going to have sex for procreation. Once in a month, they're chanting 50 rounds of japa. There's no scope for any other type of sex pleasure other than that for a householder. But then someone says, well, ideally, that's the standard, but no, there is no but. That is the standard for initiated devotees. They only have sex for procreation, otherwise they're just brahmacharis. Not that they can mess around a little bit. There's some leniency that they can have a little illicit sex, once a month, 2 or 3 times a month. No. You see. Strictly with Prabhupada. I don't accept these watered down versions that are floating around this camp. I don't accept it. If you want to water it down into new ideas to make it more acceptable to the public. Prabhupada didn't come to learn our ways, he came to teach us his ways. So I'm just sticking with Prabhupada's ways. What I learned from Prabhupada, I'm sticking with them. Because I know, they say, well, that's not going to attract a mass of people if you... No, that's not true. Prabhupada gives the example of one sweet shop in Delhi, that everything they sell in their shop is made with pure ghee, and their shop is very popular, you see. So I don't buy this idea that, well, you have to water it down, and make it more accommodate, more more accommodating for Westerners. I don't buy it. We have to water it down, Krishna consciousness. No. We just keep it as it is. That purity will actually attract the whole world. I'm convinced that the whole world will become attracted to this movement in due course of time. The whole world will accept Prabhupada's authority. That day is coming. I'm convinced it's going to come. We just have to stick to what Prabhupada told us and not water it down with anything. I'm convinced. Absolutely convinced. Therefore I'm not compromising.
Prabhupada said that purity is the force.
Purity is the force.
Not that watering down.
Yeah. Keep it as it is, yes.
Srila Gurudev, you mentioned in the beginning of the lecture that we should be enthusiastic about kirtan.
Absolutely.
More enthusiastic than
The karmis are about sense gratification.
Exactly. We are in this temple, although this is Navashriva Sangam, we are a little short on people who have instrumental inclination. What to do about that?
I mean, clapping the hands, that's an instrument also. We should have music lessons. You have some, Amit Krishna, he plays a very good, you have some very good musicians here. You should learn, whoever's talented, you should learn from them. Amit Krishna is very good. I'm just sitting there, I'm going, wow. He's top-notch professional standard in drum playing. I mean, you should learn from those devotees who are expert. Isn't it? I was blown away. I'm sitting there, I was playing the harmonium, I was going, wow, it's amazing. I was watching and I was doing that drum. No, we have some amazing musicians. You should learn from them how to become better musicians of Krishna. Yeah.
It seems we are a core of really, hardcore non-musicians here in the temple.
Hardcore what?
Hardcore
non-musicians?
Non-musicians who simply cannot learn.
Well, just chant sincerely. You chant sincerely even if it's not according to, even if you're off the beat, you're out of key, like a sick cow or something.
And we seem to be able to scare, as soon as there comes someone who's actually a little sensitive to nice music like that, they stay for a little while, and then they go, because they simply, we scare them away with our...
You have some, whoever has good musical abilities, and it has to be a mood of devotion also. The mood of devotion is more important than musical ability. Musical ability is okay, but the most important thing is the pure chanting, because there are many professional musicians who chant Hare Krishna, and it has a polluting influence on the mind. It's not so. The best thing is the purity. Chant purely, and actually Krishna will help you. That's a fact. If you just chant purely, Krishna will help you to make it more beautiful and more attractive. You just keep chanting sincerely. Krishna from within will guide you how to make it more beautiful and attractive.
But sometimes the kirtan is not heard, but the musical instruments are boom boom.
Boom boom.
Yeah, there's so much musical instruments, you can
No,
hardly hear the holy name.
See, the instruments, just like we have a painting here, you see, nice painting, a frame. The musical instruments are the frame, and the name is the painting. You wouldn't have the frame is more predominant than the painting. You see what I'm saying? The frame helps to attract your attention to the painting. So the music is actually something to help draw the attention to the name. It shouldn't override the name. You get the drum, the percussion is so loud you can't even hear the chanting anymore. You go like a boom, 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 boom,